We have some breaking news we want to get to out of California. It concerns the Elizabeth Holmes trial. The verdict is in. The disgraced Theranos founder and CEO found guilty on 4 of 11 counts in her landmark Silicon Valley fraud case. The jury reaching a verdict just moments ago after 7 days of deliberation.
Fully support Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, its right of self-defense, and its right to choose its own path.
Let me make a statement, and I'd love your reaction. We're finding out all of these externalities that was made with underlying poor scientific reasoning that has caused these issues to be exacerbated. So we know, for example, that our over-reliance on Russian hydrocarbons could have been mitigated with nuclear, but we fell for shoddy science, and we fell for a bunch of uninformed people who ran this banner of environmental protection, right? So they screwed us. Okay, and those people now have meaningfully less credibility.
My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization.
On April 25th, Musk and Twitter officially reached a merger agreement. But even as Musk was lining up fresh financing and sharing more ideas for the platform, he had a surprise in store.
The billionaire CEO announcing just hours ago that the $44 billion deal to take Twitter private is now on hold.
Musk tweeted that the deal was temporarily on hold as he was waiting for more information from Twitter on the number of spam accounts on the site.
Red hot inflation data. That's the biggest thing we're watching, of course, this morning. The consumer price index coming in at 8.6% in May. That's a new 4-decade high. No peak in inflation is in sight.
Banks are not your friends. That's Alex Mashinsky in the shirt, founder and CEO of Celsius, one of the largest crypto lending platforms. And on June 12th, his company surprised customers when it unexpectedly announced it was pausing all withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts due to extreme market conditions. For reference, this year Bitcoin has lost more than half of its value, and another popular cryptocurrency, Ether, has fallen around 70%.
The crypto markets are crashing, and 2 of the world's largest cryptos, Luna and UST, face extinction from a multi-billion-dollar bank run. That's billion with a B. As of recording, I still don't know if these coins are going to recover, and the big question on everyone's mind is, how did this happen?
So will he end up buying it, or won't he? That is the big question still hanging over Elon Musk and his now seemingly defunct plan to buy the social media firm Twitter for $44 billion. The world's richest man pulled out late on Friday, saying the company hadn't given him enough information about fake accounts.
Well, here he is, Nick. Let's see what the Prime Minister has to say.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you. It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now. And the timetable will be announced next week. And I've today appointed a cabinet to serve, as I will, until a new leader is in place. The latest consumer price index report sent Wall Street down a downward spiral. The Dow Jones dropped around 4%. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ also took losses. This is the worst single day on Wall Street since June of 2020.
I have just accepted Her Majesty the Queen's kind invitation to form a new government.
The BBC is interrupting its normal programmes to bring you an important announcement. This is BBC News from London. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party.
Liz Truss resigned after just 45 days in power, becoming the shortest-serving Prime Minister of the UK by quite a margin.
I'd like to pay tribute to Liz Truss for her dedicated public service to the country. She has led with dignity and grace through a time of great change and under exceptionally difficult circumstances, both at home and abroad. I am humbled and honoured to have the support of my parliamentary colleagues and to be elected as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party.
For more than a decade, Elizabeth Holmes spun the world a despicable, bloody lie. She claimed to have invented a medical miracle, a machine which with a tiny drop of blood could diagnose myriad diseases. Her deceit fooled many wealthy investors and not only made her the darling of Silicon Valley, but also a billionaire. Not anymore though. Yesterday, a California court sentenced Elizabeth Holmes to 11 years in prison for fraud.
A lot of people look at you and see Bernie Madoff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's who I am at all, but I understand why they're saying that. People lost money, and people lost a lot of money. And I mean, at the end of the day, look, there's a question of what happened and why and who did what.
Base rate, we just heard from the Bank of England, has been increased to 3%. So that's a 0.75 percentage point increase. It's the highest rates have been since 2008.
One went by the name Raul Ligma, and the other guy went by the name Daniel Johnson. So if you take their two last names and put them together, you have Ligma Johnson.
I'm a data engineer. We've been having a lot of problems, and apparently Elon just came in and pulled the plug on the whole team.
Climate change. How are you feeling?
Terrible. I feel really bad. I feel really shitty.
How are you let go?
My director came by in person and did it, which I did appreciate, but it was definitely, it was to a group of us.
How long have you worked at Twitter?
6 years.
And what's your opinion on Elon Musk in general and what he's doing here?
I mean, I own a Tesla, and I don't know how I'm going to make the car payments now. Like, I generally respect Elon Musk. Obviously, some of the stuff he said lately is concerning to me, but yeah. Now I'm really worried. I'm really worried. It's really the culture shift. There's a lot of people that were leaders and, you know, things like diversity and equity and inclusion. I know those people are going. It's going to be a different Twitter in a week.
Elon Musk has spoken a lot about making the platform more free speech in his own words. What do you make of that? What do you think Twitter will look like?
I mean, if free speech is, you know, Nazis saying that, you know, trans women shouldn't, you know, use women's locker rooms, then awesome. I guess mission accomplished. We'll see. Listen, I got to touch base with my husband and wife. I got to get out of here, all right? Thank you, guys.
What's your name?
Sorry. Daniel. Thank you.
Daniel Johnson.
Sam Bankman-Fried into a third interview with me, and this time he may have admitted to fraud.
And you know, if you wanted to think about it this way, it could be that, you know, that happened, and then, you know, when the collapse sort of completed, that effectively meant that there was, you know, if you wanted to put it this way, like fungibility created during those withdrawals between assets for people who had and had not been using.
But that means that there is no separation of funds. If there's fungibility between two different buckets of category, there are no buckets. It's just one bucket. Everyone's taking out of the bucket, which means substantially anyone who had your terms of service with digital assets wasn't actually subject to that terms of service. They were subject to the same terms of service of your margin trading, right? Which is your more risky product. So you subjected everyone to the higher risk product because fundamentally, when it came down to it, you're saying there's fungibility. It's $1 here, $1 there. Everyone can take out $1 as fast as they want.
Were you incompetent or were you fraudulent?
I didn't knowingly commit fraud. I don't think I committed fraud. I didn't want any of this to happen. I was certainly not nearly as competent as I thought I was.
You're certain that it's once the dust has settled and once all the investigations have happened, that you won't be arrested for fraud?
I don't think I will be. I don't think that I don't think I tried to do anything wrong.
Tonight, the once crowned king of crypto, now adorned in handcuffs. Former billionaire FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried arrested in the Bahamas today following the historic financial collapse of his massive cryptocurrency exchange. Attorneys for the Southern District of New York announcing the arrest, saying in a statement, earlier this evening, Bahamian authorities arrested Samuel Bankman-Fried at the request of the U.S. government based on a sealed indictment filed by the SDNY. setting the stage for extradition to the U.S., where the 30-year-old former founder is expected to stand trial.